Today we're going to make a rough puff pastry. For this you're going to need 200 grams of bread flour, 200 grams of butter, of which I've just roughly diced, a pinch of salt, and around about 150 millilitres of cold water. And then just some more flour just to flour your surface. Really simple pastry to make this, and it doesn't take too long. First thing I'm going to do is add the salt to the flour, and then all of the butter. Then I'm just going to mix that butter in. I don't want to break it up too much because I want the marbling inside of the flour when I roll it out. I've rubbed the butter in now, and it's this kind of consistency, almost like a crumb consistency. I'm going to start to add the water a little bit at a time. And what we said on previous recipes, you can add but you can't take away, so we don't want to make this mix too wet. It's just kind of binding it all together to make it a dough. That's my pastry done. One thing we don't want to do with any pastry is overwork it, so just want to make sure we get it all bind together, and then we can then start rolling. We're going to roll this out, and then we're going to fold it. And that'll give us our layers for the pastry to rise. So we'll see some marbling with the butter in there, which is good. That's exactly what we want. Fold this over 3 times. Bit of flour on there. And then I'm just going to wrap it in cling film and put it into the fridge for approximately 20 minutes. So my pastry's been in the fridge now for just over 20 minutes. I'm just going to unwrap that. Now at this stage, what we can do is roll that out and we can use it, or we can add more layers to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add more layers. So I'm just going to roll this out like this. And then exactly the same as what we did before. Fold it a third, and then in half. Now I'm going to repeat that process 2 or 3 more times, so I add more and more layers. So when we cook it, it'll be lighter and fluffier. But that's up to you. You don't have to do as many layers. So once that's completed, we can then leave that into the fridge until we want to do something with it. So maybe we want to make a pie, or whether we want to make something sweet with it. And if we want to make something sweet, we can always add some sugar to the outside of this. And that's your rough puff pastry.